Hey everybody, it's Mucha Marapa from Matrix Global Media, and welcome to Facebook Timeline Marketing, where we teach you how to utilize and monetize your business and the potential of your business via this fantastic new timeline. I have been absolutely swamped over the last couple of weeks with skeptics, as I once was, about the merits of being on Facebook. And interestingly enough, I've had so many people cite the recent occurrence with General Motors pulling a substantial amount of money of their Facebook advertising. And it was interesting. I was unaware of it until, of course, it got flagged like everybody else. I mean, primarily I'm a student on all these things, and what I try and do is get the information, synthesize it, and send it out to you. But what was interesting, if not a little worrying, were the number of people who felt that they should no longer be on Facebook or not sort of invest in sort of really creating that presence on Facebook, and they were using the General Motors situation as an example. Now, for a couple of reasons, I need to keep this video quite short, but what I did want to do here in this video is explain why you mustn't for a moment use General Motors as an example or as proof that you shouldn't be on Facebook, and highlight one or two other things that will keep you away from doing that when inevitably our friends in the media go ahead and show all the other doom and gloom around the recent Facebook IPO. First of all, General Motors is a monster when it comes to the size of their business. I mean, $10 million they were spending on Facebook adverts, you know. So that's an awful lot of money. That's certainly a lot more than I have, and probably you yourself as well, to spend advertising in any one form of media. But interestingly enough, and I don't want to go into too much of it, I've put a link on the Facebook page. It appears as though there was a little bit more to it than General Motors just saying that their adverts were ineffective. Another interesting idiosyncrasy about Facebook advertising is that you, even as a competitor, you know, unless you have filled out a certain amount of criteria that General Motors are looking for in the first place, you won't get to see that advert. So, you know, I've been scouring around trying to see if I can get a screenshot of it or whatever, and I can't find it at the moment. Google AdWords, of course, is different. If I was looking to go out to Disneyland and I put into Google, you know, Disneyland vacations, you get a big list and you see all other competitors and so on and so forth, and you see how they are advertising those packages. Not so in Facebook. What Facebook do, they go by the criteria that the advertiser had stipulated, had turned around and said, right, I would like this advert to go out in front of these people with this sort of criteria, so we haven't got to see it. But secondly, I would be very, very interested on how much of a campaign was geared around the General Motors adverts. And let me explain. The way I teach is that anything that you have to sell is going to have a lot more chance of selling if you create a high value campaign on the back of it. So again, let me explain. Here's your first advert or shop window for what it is that you want to sell, and here is the purchase. Okay, so this is the stage. We need to get the people from here all the way over to there. Fine. But in the middle, what you've got to do, once you gain their attention, it normally starts by giving them something, you know, a coupon, a voucher, some information on why your product is better, something along the line of this sort of education-based marketing. Secondly, in order for them to get that bit of information or value from you, you need to grab an email address. That is, again, one of the most important things that I teach. So once you've got that email address, then you go down the route of really sweeping them off their feet with ongoing evidence, education, value, knowledge, consequence if they do not go ahead and purchase your goods, you know, your service, your product, your program, and then that takes place. So I don't know. I really can't speak for General Motors. I haven't seen the adverts or anything else like that. But if they have been going through all those different stages, you know, again, this wonderful direct response, which I like to pride myself on, then of course it was well within their rights to say, okay, this isn't working. But I'd be very, very surprised, particularly as there's a word on the street, and again, I'm just researching it now, and that another car company, and I don't want to say their name until I'm sure on it, say that they've done quite well on Facebook with using Facebook adverts. So again, don't please don't use these big organizational examples. In one of my review videos, I reviewed a movie that's being launched later on in 2012, The Expendables 2. And by and large, the Facebook timeline is not as detailed. It hasn't got all the bells and whistles that I would normally sort of recommend go in there, but they've got nearly 2 million people following it. Why? Because it's a movie, and it's got Sly and Jason Statham and Arnie and Bruce Willis and Jet Li, and I'll go on and on and on. That's the reason it's got all the fans. So you really need to almost go the total opposite direction anytime you see what these bigger, and as Dan Kennedy says, dumber companies are doing with their marketing, and the reasons they're saying, no, this isn't working. For you and I, if what you have could be crafted and made attractive to human beings, and you're willing to explain why indeed your product, your service, your program is better for that particular human being than somebody else, you should so very much be on Facebook. And if you'd like to learn more, please go to fbtimelinemarketing.com. Sign up for the free training. We've got some sort of start to finish in 4 videos that show you exactly how you can maximize this, exactly how you can grow your list, and exactly how you can monetize what you have via this new Facebook timeline. I'm Mucha Marapa. Thanks ever so much for taking the time to watch this video.